Many thanks for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. Let's quickly let you know we'll be having an abridged version of the program today. Our guest is he's just going to give us a few minutes of his time on the program this morning, but I'm sure we can make good use of the few minutes that he'll be here this morning. Join us as a welcome barrister. Kabir Akingbolu. He is a lawyer as well as a public affairs analyst or a political affairs analyst, however we want to take a look at that this morning. Thank you, Barrister, for being here.
It's a pleasure for having me.
But taking a look at the state of the nation, because generally there's so many things happening in the country as we speak. But for you, I mean, it's been topsy-turvy this year. So many things happening, you know, in the judicial sector, with the executive, with the legislature. But for you, as we speak at the moment, what is that state that you're not most comfortable with as we speak at the moment?
Honestly, there is no singular thing that one can say is not comfortable with, because there are a lot of things that one cannot, you know, just sit down without being bothered about. The removal of the oil subsidy, although I've always been a supporter of that fantastic policy, but it was, you know, poorly executed, because when you are bringing a new policy on board, there must be some complementary or complementing efforts or policies that will drive that policy. It's a wonderful one, because we cannot go on at that, you know, with that system where less than 200 Nigerians are the one getting, you know, more than half of what the nation is supposed to be using as a whole. And they can buy private yard, they can buy jet, they can buy ship, anything and all that, at the detriment of the populace, other people. Now, again, we have the bad economy. The economy is the worst thing. Another one is food inflation, food crisis. Is this shortage of food, I will call it now, and the high cost of living. Right. It is something else. Then transportation, because when you look at it, you arrive at the corner cost as the removal of the subsidy, which was not, you know, thoroughly or, you know, packaged in a better way. And another thing is the removal of, they call it intervention fund, not subsidy, on electricity. You know, I watched a particular CMD on a program who said that the bill for his hospital will be about 25 million naira per month. So how much will people now pay for the services of the doctors there? So these are a lot of you know, issues cascading for people's attention.
Okay. Just this morning, in one of the dailies, the Center for Crisis Communication has warned that the unresolved issues of minimum wage, the Kano Emirate dispute, and the political crisis in Rivers State could ignite crisis with significant repercussion for national security, if not urgently addressed.
Well, I think in the issue of Rivers, the president has been, you know, very magnanimous. He has played the ball of a good leader. You know, as far as I'm concerned, politically, he's not looking at his own interest as a president. He's not looking at the interest of his party. He's not looking at the interest of his minister. He tried to be a father to all the warring parties and call them together, just like he did in Ondo State. Right. And when he did in Ondo State, the peace returned immediately. Unfortunately, the Rivers people, much as maybe the governor wanted to, you know, dance to the tune of the president, some people started saying that no, why should he agree? Where the president was a meddlesome interloper, it's not his business to meddle into the affairs of Rivers, and so on and so forth. But they forget to know that where two elephants fight, it is the guy that suffer. For 1 year plus now, the governor has not been able to do anything. He has not been able to focus on governance. You understand? And I want to suggest, if there's the other party or the other faction who are not with the governor, I think it's high time they stopped some of this and just pipe low. Wait for another year. Let this guy complete this 1 term. If you are not going to field him again as a candidate in the next election, so be it. But allow him to deliver to the people he has been elected to govern. And the governor himself should apply more wisdom and traditional senses, traditional intelligence in handling certain issues. It should not be carried away by what the newspapers are saying or what his supporters are goading him to say. I think, you know, let it be a win-win situation for all. Let him not be, oh, I must win at all costs. I think this is not too good.
How about the new minimum wage?
The new minimum wage, as far as we are concerned today, there is no minimum wage. except the old minimum wage of 33,000 or so, or 30,000 that we have, that we had. Now, because it has been left hanging in the air, the presidency is trying to be careful. They play the fast game or a kind of trickish game with the labor union or some understanding game. The labor union didn't see the handwriting on the wall. They started the negotiation. They suspended the strike action and all that. And that was all the government wants. I can tell you next time around when they call for strike action, Nigerians may not follow them. So in other words, they will have lost out on the two fronts, on both sides. No, so and again, this issue of states mingling, coming together to come and say, okay, this is the minimum wage. Government should have driven this idea of minimum wage together with the governors forum, because as we talk today, some people may not agree, but there is nothing to argue about. The political class that are the most powerful are the governors bloc. These are the strongest political bloc because they hold sway in 36 states of the federation. So whatever they want, most of the time they get it. The National Assembly members, most of them handpick them and put them there. They work for their interest. And the National Assembly works with the president. They will do the bidding of their governors. So this is where we are. We are at a crossroad, so to say. So because state A is richer than state B, I have seen some South, those who are producing state, that they are receiving ×3 of Lagos. Lagos that is still receiving high. Places like Gombe, like Ekiti states and those poor states, they have nothing. Like the Delta, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and the rest of them will be receiving like ×7 of what they are receiving.
Because they are all producing.
They are producing states. And unfortunately, you cannot even pinpoint any developmental strides that is happening or taking place in those states. So when you look at it from that angle, you know a lot of things. Because like for instance, now recently, I know someone who was in Lagos. The teachers are paid above 100,000, like 140, 150. While in some states, I know people who take employment in places like Ondo, Ekiti, Oyo, they are taking 55,000 naira. And a teacher of the same degree, having like 140,000 in Lagos. So this is to show, what am I trying to say is that state A may be able to pay 60, state B may not be able to pay 60. Edo State, because of political intonation, they are paying 70,000. It's not that the governor was ready to do it, but because he wanted to win, he wants to win election at all costs. Whatever happened to the person taking over from him,
that's not his business anymore.
He doesn't care. It's a kind of landmine.
Jibola still mentioned one state more, and that's Kano. That's also another state that is also hanging in the balance. Yeah,
you see, Kano issue is a funny one because it also shows, this story of Ijusu and Jacob, somebody who has sold his birthrights. Some of our, so-called traditional rulers, the way they, romance or obnob with the politicians is coming to tell on them, in the sense that the governors or the political class don't count them to be anything again. Recently, I saw an Oba somewhere in Southwest here, I will not mention, who was kneeling down before the governor. He took the intervention of one big man in the gathering to go down and say, you can see what it is. Why are you kneeling down before the governor? Are you governor? Why are you comfortable with that nobody is kneeling down before you? This is to show you the extent of the relegation that has come to the traditional institution. They no longer, regard them as anything. The other day, I think Murik, this Muslim rights concern, said, what happened in Kano may soon happen in Sokoto. The people in Sokoto said, don't talk about our house, talk your business.
But we have seen some moves.
We have seen some moves.
Right.
It took by a week ago, the governor of Sokoto said, you don't have power to do anything. You understand? This issue of, the relegation of the emirs in Kano did not start today. It started long ago. These emirates that were created by Ganduje, though it may be for political convenience or reasons, had been done under another governance in the past, where they created those Rano and the rest emirates and all that. But because of political convenience, then he overturned this thing and brought another emir under the old arrangement. Now another governor has come in, he has reverted to the old arrangement, bringing back so you can see the forth is going forth and back, and I don't see any end in sight until the presidency will have to wait in and take his stand. Because some of these things you say it does not concern him, but if Kano boils, it will affect every part of the north. It's not like Lagos boiling. It will affect everywhere in the southwest. And if Abuja boils, it's going to affect Nigeria.
But let's quickly talk about your constituency, because we cannot talk about the state of the nation without talking about the judiciary.
Yes.
And so the judiciary, the role of the judiciary, if you take a look at Rivers, there are the conflicting judgment from different courts. Also in Kano, we have the same thing. So the role of the judiciary at every point in time at ensuring that there is one nation, how much neutrality can the judiciary bring on board?
Yes. You see, I think it's high time. We cannot blame the courts so much. The courts are doing their best. The judges are doing their best. Out of the three arms of government, judiciary is still the best, whether anybody likes it or not. You conduct all your election and destroy everything and bring the confusion to court. Because we have to take a stand. Whether you now like it or not, it's not the business of anybody. They are human beings. You understand? They will apply the law the way they understand it. It's not like somebody who has a lovely and fantastic wife and you push her outside and call her all sorts of bad names. By the time you forgive the child, the wife, the people may see her differently. So this is what is happening. In the judiciary, lawyers are the problem that we have sometimes. We are because when you see these things, lawyers are supposed to bring the true position to the judge. The judge cannot read anything on newspaper and use it. Because Lord Dennis said, no judge what he saw will rely on anything he has read on the pages of newspaper. And Justice Begore, in the case of Gafar and governor of Kwara State, said, no judge will be carried away or be moved by anything read on the pages of newspaper because the report of journalist A will be different from the report of journalist B on the same issue at the same time. So because of that, you are not persuaded. So if you just say, because I read something online, it may be a lie eventually. Anyway, they can even say, as we see now, that they have removed the Emir of Gusau or Emir of Kano or Oba of Benin. You understand? And it will turn out to be lie. So if judges are to be moved by that, what do you say? Now, it is the lawyer for A who has filed a case to be sincere. These are the facts. Let the lawyer to B who is aware that an order has been obtained. Why are you filing another case? If somebody has obtained an order against your client and it's unfavorable to your client, rather than you filing another case in another court, you are supposed to appeal that order one. Rather than looking for a quick, order to offset what the other court has said. It is unfortunate and it is not called for. So I think it's high time the Legal Practitioner Disciplinary Committee should start disciplining lawyers, collecting their wig and gown and suspending them. They are doing it to an extent that they can, but I think they should put more effort to discipline more lawyers. You know, if you are derobed for say 5 years, 3 years, and you are not even able to do that political matter again, the next election, maybe you sit tight. And some of the judges too, who have found one thing, where the judges have found one thing, they should also be disciplined by the NJC, Nigeria Judicial Service Commission.
Another contentious issue in the country is the issue of local government autonomy. The AGF are taking the governors to the Supreme Court on the need for them to give autonomy to local governments in the country. What's your own perspective on all of these, and what value is it going to add to development at the grassroots at the end of the day?
I can tell you, if there is independence of the local government, and if local government is recognized as designed by the Constitution, they are supposed to be the third tier of government. But as we have it today, we have 2.5 tiers of government. The federal government, the state government, local government. That's what they call JAC, Joint Accounts Committee. So which makes the local government to revert to state when it comes to sharing of a certain money and all that, or in the administration. So if this, I think that section of the law to be struck down from the Constitution, because there are a lot of judgments of the Supreme Court that say, oh, local government are to be democratically governed as stipulated by Section 7 and 8 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, but the governors have not allowed it. National Assembly has passed the law. Both House of Rep, Senate, they have passed the law to say, oh, there should be, what do they call it? Autonomy. There should be autonomy for local government, but then by constitutional requirement, such provisions cannot be effectively amended until the state houses of assembly ratify it, and that's 2/3 of the state houses of assembly, which we're talking about 24 states. And the last time around, I think only 13 voted, 23 voted against and all that. So where do we? The governor only tell the House of Assembly, don't vote for local government autonomy. And that's what they will do. So, but now the president is serious about it. He has taken a deliberate action, and they have gone to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court should pass a law now. I mean, should pass the judgment now. And
then let it
enforce
be over.
it. You know, if they enforce it strictly, I'm telling you, there's going to be development. In Lagos, where local government have some autonomy, I think you see development. Go to some areas in Lagos, you see that they are turning those Tonksi roads. They are doing fantastic jobs. It doesn't happen in other states. So even the Lagos state government was saying the other day that that suit, Lagos state is not supposed to be part of it because we give them autonomy. That is a good one.
Okay, well, we need to let Barrister Akigbolu go now. He has another engagement elsewhere. We'll find time to bring him back into the studio. Thank you so much, Barrister Akigbolu, for giving us your time on the program today. We'll take a quick break. The program returns shortly.